Good morning, Mike and Arlen, our Philippine journey. Thanks for dropping by. No matter where it is, no matter what time it is, we thank you for dropping in and watching. Now, Mike's Philippine journey, was it deleted by YouTube? Was his channel taken down? Was he taken down? Did he delete it? I'm going to tell you something. We should talk about this because it can be a wild little ride.
Why'd you have to go? I guess this world's too slow for you. I think there's beauty in the gray, the cold, but you just want the gold. And there's no way I can beat it, cause I got no chance, no chance when it comes to her. She got the glitter and the fame, and I just wasn't enough.
Okay, now I have to make a couple of disclaimers, actually, more than just a couple to begin with, because I have to think it's, very, very important that you know a few things. Yes, number one, I was a moderator on Mike's Philippine Journey. Okay, not going to deny that by any way, shape, or means. Number two, Mike and I disagreed with each other. Okay, we often debated, argued, discussed different things that we just didn't feel the same way about. I didn't feel the same way about how he categorized his red flags. He didn't think that there was anything wrong with them because he was using a cumulative score, whatever. Doesn't matter. There were many things. I also told Mike crossing the line is wrong. Drama and clicks are only worth so much in the terms of human damage. Those of you that know Kuya John, I was the first person to come to Kuya John's defense back before he ever did a live, back before he ever joined Mike's live, in that, hey, we should give this guy a break. He is saying he wants to become a man, and he is reestablishing or trying to reestablish and find the path to reestablish his relationship with his child in the Philippines. And I still feel that way. You've got to give credit to a guy that's doing that. Number two, did he cross the line, or number two, no, number three, number whatever? Okay. Was he toxic? Yes, he was toxic. That's what his channel was about, being toxic. But there's a difference between being toxic and being downright abusive, I guess is the best word for it. I told Mike, we, I don't believe you should go after people, family. I don't believe that you should be including their parents, their mother, their father, their wife, their spouse, their partner, their children. These are the types of things that good people don't do. And it doesn't do anything to bring your point across. Personal attacks can only get you so much. Um, you know, there's just a whole lot to it. Let me check my notes right here, real quick. Yeah. So was his channel taken down? Well, I'm going to take you on a bit of a wild ride, and I'm going to tell you, you got to stay for the whole thing, unfortunately, because you're going to see why I have the opinion I have. And you're going to see that you need to keep an open mind, just like I did, because there's a twist to all of this at the end. In addition to that, I'm going to tell you, when all of this transpired, I was in the midst of having a cardiac event. I ended up getting hospitalized. I ended up having surgery. I ended up in a lot of different situations here. So I missed a lot of what happened. Now, down below, I'm going to put links to the two videos that I reference to show you why I have the opinion that I end up with. So, I also want to say another thing that's important. I want to thank those people that were mature in their responses to saying you're wrong. I think that is a big deal. I really and truly do. YouTube is as I told Mike, you can't force people to say things. You can't force people to not say things. This is, not the American way. It's freedom of speech. Sure, there are limitations to freedom of speech, but you got to keep an open mind to everybody. So, all right, let's get going. All right, so in video number 1, which I'm going to send a link to, I've got screen caps. I'm not going to copy their videos because I just don't want to end up with any copyright strikes myself. With that being said, you go to this first one. All right, and here we are. Now, this is a screen cap from, I'm not going to even say which one. You got to go back and watch their videos too. All right, give them some credit, give them some clicks. But here it is. Now, I want you to pay attention to 2 things. The first one is he's taking a picture of his, this is what goes through my mind. All right, he's taking a picture, a snapshot of his, browser view. He's on a safe mode type situation. And with that being said, you don't see the location. You don't see anything. You don't know where he is when he does this. But do pay attention to this piece right here. This www.youtube.com channel, blah, 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 blah. That's really important. We're going to come back to it. Later on, he filters through and he comes up with this shot. Okay. And I'm looking at this shot, and this account says it's YouTube, says it's premium, says in the search bar, it's Myks Philippines Journey. All right. This account's been terminated because it is linked to an account that received multiple third-party claims of copyright infringement. Okay. The first thing I would think about is simply, why wouldn't it say this account's been terminated because it received multiple third-party claims, but not that it was linked to an account? But, small things. Who knows how YouTube does things? But now let's take a look at a couple of other things. This is, remember, this is my browser, all right, Google Chrome. It duplicates itself in Safari as well. I double check, all right? And take a look at the address. There's the address up there. All right, ending in Alpha X-ray 7 Dog Wilco or whatever it is, William, something like that. Either ways, all right. That's the same as this one. Okay, so there it is. If you go directly into YouTube and you paste. If you go directly into your browser and you paste that address, this is where you end up. Now, I started thinking, how can I make things different? Okay, I can duplicate that, and I can duplicate it with bullshit. There you go. Same address. Okay, in YouTube, my YouTube premium. Okay. And it says this channel does not exist. The owner is out spending his lottery millions, blah, blah, blah. All right. I can make it say anything. I didn't spend but maybe an hour putting together these slides. And I can tell you right now, duplicating that at this address was simple. It took me less than an hour to match up the font, the colors, and everything. Now, they're not going to match exactly on your screen. First off, I didn't match, I got the font as close as I could easily, the lazy way. All right. I could have gone to Google. All right. They have their own YouTube fonts. All right. You can get them at Google. So you can download their fonts, but it costs money. And I wasn't going to do that. It's like, well, this is just bullshit. Why should I do that? Or I can do this. I can be at that address right up there. I can show it in the search bar for YouTube, and I can put in some more bullshit. Well, geez, that's an interesting situation, I guess. However, things now begin to get a little different thanks to a few different guys who were able to point me in a different direction. Here we go. Now, you go to the second video and it shows a different path. And in this path, we're in this area here, and I've got to kind of raise this up just a hair. You go to the website itself. So now I'm at this website, ExPats Forums. And if you go here to other, and then you go down to list of bloggers, well, there you are. All these Philippine bloggers. And you go down to the M's and you go find Myks Philippines Journey. And there it is. All right. Boom. Now, again, we need to, there you go. It goes to the same address. And this makes me try and understand, try and question why. What's happening here? Okay? I think what happens is how is it when you go directly into YouTube, you get one reply to the same exact web address, and you go into YouTube another way and you get that reply, copyright infringement. I think that wow, this is weird. This is there's something not right here, but I can't tell you what it is. I can't begin to tell you what it is. All I can do is I can tell you that when I looked at it, that's the way it was. Now, where is Mike? What's Mike doing? What's he up to? What happened? Geez, don't know. All right. This says his channel was taken down to copyright strikes. Now, there are arguments out there that say this isn't real. This isn't what happened, because if they had taken that down, his other channel, Philippine Reaction Channel or whatever it's called, all right, would have been taken down. But he hasn't posted to either one. Now, on Mike's, in life being what it is, Mike had 2 hurricanes pass through his area. He had damage to the house where he lived. There was, I have heard, I do not know, but there was a death in the family, out of state. They had to travel to that. I've heard that, Mike was sick. He was in the hospital. Now he had heart surgery. All right. I can't give you an answer. I tried to contact Mike. I don't get a response. That being said, who needs to know? My point is that if you keep an open mind, this argument can probably go in both directions. But I think it leans more heavily, given Mike's history, that it was probably taken down by YouTube for copyright infractions. I mean, this story about, oh, well, they would take down everything. Well, they track by IP addresses and by registration. All you have to do is go through a VPN, set up a new email, set up a new site. I mean, there's all kinds of ways around that. Everybody knows this. But I think there's a couple of things to be learned here. I think number one, it weighs heavily on the fact that it was taken down by YouTube. Number two, I think that mature adults can keep an open mind and look at other people's opinions with respect. You know, I can say there right now, up until the time I could make this work, I was like, no, he took it down. He said in Discord, all right, in Discord, he announced a week before the site was taken down that he was going to take it down to prove a point. I got to tell you, I told him, Mike, that makes no sense. This is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of. Why would you give up $2,000 or up to $2,000 a month worth of income? Okay. If you don't want to do it, just say, hey, my life is too busy for me to keep up at this pace for this project for this amount of money. All right. It just didn't make sense to me. However, some things people do don't make sense. So I let that fly. But with that being said, we have yet to see him again. All right. What's going on? Don't know. But I want to thank, and I'm going to put, like I said, I'm going to put in the below, I'm going to put the addresses to the two videos I watched. All right. To the one that I can't duplicate, and then to the one that I can duplicate. All right. And then finally, I want to thank those men that, even though they may have a different agenda or whatever, they argued responsibly, civilly, and well thought out comments about it. So, it shows you that you can do this. It shows those of you that are in YouTube, that are going to be in YouTube, that are going to even participate in other channels, responsible commenting, responsible debate is still possible. That's the bottom line. Now, I want to thank everybody for watching, and I want to know what you think. Which ones are you able to duplicate? If you're even at all interested, to be honest with you. This is old news, apparently. But I want to know what you think. What do you think happened? Have you heard from Mike? Would you? I don't know. I don't know. I just want your comments. It could be anything. All right? As long as they're responsible and not hateful or don't violate YouTube policy, we want to hear those comments. We thank you for watching. We hope you'll subscribe, and we hope you'll give us a thumbs up for the effort we put into it. Thanks.